This month's full moon, when it's up in the skies, it's on the 27th of April, Australian Eastern Standard Time, 1:31 p.m. Different astrologers will have different houses that this moon will fall in. Specifically where I am in the world, it's in the 4th house of home and happiness and mother. And this sign of Libra, it's about balance, it's about equality, fairness. It's an air sign ruled by Venus, so it's also about beauty and beautifying these areas, finding harmony and balance. And the star that it's in, Swati, this Nakshatra, and this is what makes us all unique, is that the stars that we are born in, whether it's our moon sign, our sun sign, our Jupiter, our Saturn, blah, 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 these stars give much more detail about areas of our personality, our intellect, what we're here to teach in the world, what our gifts are. And this full moon, the star that it falls in is Swati. So it's the self-going star. It's a very self-assuring, self-starting star. It can be restless. It's full of the wind. It's freedom, about loving and coming and going to your own accord. So it's self-establishing, it's self-supporting, it's purifying. And I don't know if anybody listening to this has had any themes of the Akashic Records popping up, but I laughed when I saw this, that it says knowledge of the Akasha, ether. So I've had a lot of themes of the Akashic Records popping up lately. It can also be windy diseases, and the part of the world that I am currently in is entering winter, so there's a lot of ether and air elements in the air right now. So it's also a reminder to ground ourselves if you've got too much wind in your environment, to make sure that you're nourishing and applying the opposite energies how we use in Ayurveda. So we need to ground and warm ourselves. So I know for myself specifically, with this particular star, it says that there can be windy diseases. And if anybody does yoga and is listening to this, you would have heard of Pavanmuktasana. Pavana, being the lord of the wind of this particular star, is the wind releasing pose. So if you've ever been in a yoga class, and I've seen this happen, where somebody releases air, usually not on purpose, but it literally, the function is to release prana, air, out of the body that is trapped. So that's something you can do at this time of the month if you need it. All right, so going deeper into this particular full moon, I just want to explain that there's a Venus drishti on this, so the creative juices are flowing, it's amplifying our energy to help us realize our goals. What do I want to take action on? So what I really do feel this month, this particular full moon, it's coming to a head after last month's new moon. It was about endings. We are very much in a creative space right now. With the wind blowing around and this new sprout of growth, it's about, okay, what am I creating? What do I want to focus on? And after shedding the past self, last new moon, stepping through the Gandanta portal from Pisces, the last sign of the zodiac, into Aries, the first sign of the zodiac, and now the moon sitting on her own on a solo journey in Libra. It's about finding balance and starting things. And a lot of the other planets will show these supporting aspects as I go through this. Saturn sitting in Capricorn is very strong and stable now that he's sitting there by himself. There is a Pluto energy. Pluto's sitting there with him, but he doesn't have any of these other planets in there kind of funking up his house. Jupiter's moved out of there for the time being until it goes back into retrograde and comes back into Capricorn for a little bit. Saturn's happy to be on its own. Jupiter's a lot freer in Aquarius than it was in Capricorn. And so Saturn's energy at the moment, it's about discipline and desire to commit to long-term goals. So choosing something that you want to work on over time, one step at a time, new foundations, building something brand new is the energy that's there, specifically from Saturn. Jupiter in Aquarius is about humanity, the masses, where what everyone will want to increase. He will expand and support and stabilize as he casts his gaze over the moon also at this time. So this particular nakshatra, I just want to say as well with Swati that when you go deeper into the specifics, this particular nakshatra, it's got the energy of a man's soul encapsulated in a body, but driven to expansion. So if you think about it, it's like it's stuck in a case shell and it wants to be free to move and self-explore, exert itself in the world. It's also a star, that can represent seeking wealth and material success in the physical world. So it's really about going for your goals. What do you want to materialize? There's lots of support here. So planting seeds and taking steps towards that which you want at this time is going to be incredibly, supportive as you set the foundations for where you want to take this and move forward. The sun on the opposite side, obviously full moon, it will always be opposite, is exalted in Aries. Now, Aries and Libra are both movable signs, so it's implying that these planets are helping us to get things started. So after passing through the Gandanta gate mid-month, that we are now moving forward on new projects, the new self. We have discarded the old shell, whether you're aware of it or not, and you're stepping into your new self. And I know for myself personally, I feel like I've been in a physical transformation for a couple of weeks now, feeling a little bit physically worse for wear. I know that there are, my experience, two different types of physical illness that can happen. One can be the body matter moving in the body as you're physically evolving, mentally evolving, emotionally, etc., spiritually evolving. And there's also the accumulation of toxins in the body and disease. So the body can be shifting those toxins out, so it can bring things to the surface. But also if you're accumulating things, you can get run down and sick as well at the same time. So I know for myself, it very much feels like, okay, shifting onto a new path of, okay, this is who I am. I've discarded my old shell and past ways of thinking. Now I'm focused on, okay, what do I want to bring into the world? And it's about setting long-term goals and taking steps in that direction. Getting really clear now and having perspective and using inspiration to create as these new channels of expression are opened is really important at this time too. Jupiter being in Aquarius and Mars in Gemini, both the other air signs, are strengthening this energy right now that the moon is experiencing in Libra. Rahu is aspecting Saturn right now, so he's putting a traditional aspect there to move past what feels doable. So stepping outside the boundaries, innovating and going beyond what you thought was possible is what's happening with Saturn right now. So it's creating these structures and foundations, building new things around, okay, let's really push the boundaries now. Like Saturn is boundaries, but Rahu's just like, come on, let's take it further. It's creative, it's modern, and it's evolving, upcycling the self. So picking a project, sticking to it, slow steps towards the goal, one step at a time. We're not rushing here. I also wanted to say as well that Swati, with that Akasha and the Akashic records, it manifests as the 5 pranas. So if anybody wants to know more about that, I'll pop a separate post up about the 5 pranas and how you can activate those or use them in your life. Knowledge of the Akasha. So if you're interested in Akashic Records reading, I know someone that I can share their details with you. It's the cosmic consciousness. The Akashic Records is a history of all that has ever been, is, and ever will be, all the different timelines, your soul's journey, what you've learnt, been, done, incarnated, your lessons, and who you currently are and what you're here to learn as well. So it's stored in cosmic consciousness and accessing that realm. So really, I feel that this full moon, as we come to the time of fullness, a time of rest, a time of being, reflecting on the intentions that you set 2 weeks ago, looking back and going, okay, who am I? what direction do I want to blow in, essentially, when you think about the Lord of the Wind here, Pavana, and this new sprout that is growing. What am I creating? Who am I? You know, this cosmic consciousness evolving as a spiritual being, whether you associate yourself with being a spiritual person or not, any spiritual being in a human body having a human experience and realizing your cosmic consciousness, your highest potential at this time. What are you here to birth into the world? Because there's a lot of these energies supporting the sun exalted in Aries, opposite the moon, Venus and Mercury with its drishti on the moon, creative communications, Saturn's stability and support, hard work, slow but steady progress towards career, Jupiter in Aquarius about humanity, what you are taking out into the world. And also Mars in Gemini, sharing this energy of taking action. And I forgot to mention that Mercury is in Mars's sign in Aries and Mars is in Mercury's sign in Gemini. So they've got this, I always forget the word, parivartana, where it's a mutual exchange of signs, where they're lording over each other's signs. And it's all about shifting the power, technical communication and movement. So the speed's increased here with Mercury as it's moved out of its debilitation sign once it passed through the Gandanta gate from Pisces into Aries. Sitting with Sun and Venus, it's a powerful but a quick transit, or rather a quick but a powerful transit. Saturn was mid-January, moved out of Saturn's cold influence as Jupiter has been in Capricorn and now happier in Aquarius. In Pisces, he was also aspected by Saturn, but now sitting in Aries, he's only really affected by Venus and Mercury, which is that beautiful communication, creativity, etc., etc. And his message this month to the moon, aspecting it, is about clearing up the crap, setting down foundations and plans, getting back on track. Self-improvement is important at this time, and independent steps to what you want to be doing when you feel the time is right. So when you feel the electric pulse, take action immediately. Don't sit on it. Also, just going back into this Mars energy that entered, and I'll go through the dates there so that you can reflect on those, was April 13th it entered Gemini. It's about a new paradigm over the coming months. So he will move into a debilitated Cancer soon. So really use this energy while he's in Gemini. There will be lessons that will come out of Mars in Cancer, but that's its own energy I'll go into next month. The Jupiter aspect in Aquarius is watching over Mars's behavior at this time that makes it more mental than physical. So it's action through logic, communication and problem solving. It's a really good space to be implementing new thoughts, new systems, new foundations, and use this energy, the communication, to really get back on track. So if you've been taking a step back, you've been holding back in, let's say, for example, you work online and communicating, get back out there, and this energy will really help support you to start communicating and sharing your message again as that loosens up. So Jupiter entered Aquarius on April 5th and will be there until June 20th. So we've got this energy of Aquarius. It will go retrograde and move back into Capricorn, but initially this is the energy we're playing with. It's all about philosophy, exploring outside the box thinking, so being open to new ideas and grounding yourself in the wisdom, and this aspect that's also on the moon this month will really help there too. Yeah, Jupiter's opening up channels of communication and changing perspectives, which is really nice at the moment. And this energy of Jupiter and Saturn, when they're in conjunction December 21st, 2020, it was signifying a dance of new energy of growth and decay that only happens every 20 years. I think the last time that this particular conjunction in Capricorn happened was 1960. But yeah, it really does feel revolutionary, this energy that's changing. So even though let's say, for example, the pandemic was going on most of last year, it really felt like things like people had kind of accepted it by December and gone, all right, what are we going to do about it? We've got to start working with this energy and shifting and changing society, because you can see the things that aren't working. So things will start to decay, that's Saturn's influence, and how can we grow and expand, which is Jupiter. Venus transit entered Aries on April 10th and will stay there until May 4th. Mars transiting Gemini entered on April 13th and will be there until June 1st. The Sun transits in Aries entered on April 13th and will be there until May 14th. Mercury entered Aries through the Gandanta portal April 16th and will be there until the 30th of April. And Saturn is just doing his solo job in Capricorn. So that's most of my information for this month. Yes, it's very much about, okay, you've got the blessings from the planets this month to take action, start taking action, start planting seeds, really get clear on, reflect on the intentions that you set 2 weeks ago and really start moving forward with that which you want to birth into the world. Who are you becoming? Get clear on it. Sit in meditation and really feel who you want to be, what you want to be doing out in the world. And in this particular energy of the 4th house where I am in the world here in Australian Eastern Standard Time around New South Wales and Canberra, it's shifting and changing environments in the home, shifting and changing things to increase more happiness in your life. Yeah. So you've got all the blessings from the planets this month to really move forward on the projects that you want to be doing. And it's going to be there for the long haul, you know, because it's, if you hear anybody talking about the new earth, you know, the new world, Dolores Cannon talks a lot about it if you want to search her up on YouTube. We are moving away from limiting consciousness towards creating a new expanded earth where there will be more people stepping into the mystical, whether they're working with it or not, embracing their soul's purpose, really connecting with their higher self. And that's the energy that we're moving towards. So birthing out projects into the world that really do feel aligned with who you are is the energy right now. We're not here to have the invisibility cloak of facade on anymore. We really want to be and stand ourselves, and that's the energy of Swati and Libra right now. It's about finding balance through self-assertion. Your mind will feel stable and supported and balanced when you have the freedom to come and go world and really take action on the stuff that lights you up. So that's my reading for this month's full moon, April 27th. I look forward to going into the details with you guys about the new moon next month. Australian Eastern Standard Time, Canberra, May 12th, 4:59 a.m. And that new moon will be in Aries in Kritika. So there'll be lots to share about that one. But I'll leave it there. If you have any questions, drop me a message. You can comment below the video. And yeah, I've still got some places available for my Cosmic Money Mastermind. These 8 magnificent, magical souls that we are going to be laughing and sharing cosmic wisdom, lots of yoga knowledge to help you ground and balance in your life, draw in more of what you really want, all the delicious aspects and understanding about your money mindset, how to shift beliefs that are no longer serving you, releasing doubt and uncertainty around imposter syndrome. And this is specifically for coaches, people that are working out in the world, whether you work with mystical themes or not, helping you strengthen yourself so that you can really support your clients out in the world. If that's something that you feel you are very much in there, send me a message, contact me, and we will get you on your way ready to start that in the next week and a half. I really look forward to starting up this mastermind. It's my first one that I'm going to be running, and I can't wait because I just know it's going to be delicious and juicy and marinating in all these magical themes, and seeing the transformations of these souls popping through at the end of the 5-week process is just going to be amazing. So we're going to dive into quantum physics, astrology, wealth, among all these other things, and yoga wisdom. All right, I'll leave it there. Have a great 2 weeks, everyone. Take some time to relax and ground. I know that different parts of the world depending on the climate that you're in right now. If you're in the southern hemisphere, make sure that you're using those nourishing soups and grounding kapha foods to help support you as the weather gets a bit colder, depending on the climate that you're in. And in the northern hemisphere, enjoy the warmer weather at this time, because we're all on a magical journey and we're all expanding right now. And it's very exciting to see what's being birthed into the world. All right. Have a great month. Have a great week. Have a great life. See you all.